like this depiction they have in the church. Everywhere you go, you see this image. Everywhere you go. The movie The Passion of the Christ, it looked like this guy, but this guy was Caesar Borgia. All right, he was painted by Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, whom he was intimate with sexually. Right, he was a homosexual, and that's who you worship. You think the real Jews are white. Those people in Israel, they're not the real Jews. The Negro in America is the real Jew.
That's right.
You was brought over here in slavery. Right, you can believe it or not, that's on you. But when he come back, he gonna ask you, why was you ignoring my servants? But go ahead and get Revelation, the first chapter. Start at 1.
Revelations chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Masharah, Yahsharahla, which the Most High gave unto him to shew unto his servants.
Right, the revelation, the word revelation means to reveal. So this is the revealing of who you call Jesus Christ falsely. Because his name isn't Jesus, the letter J didn't come around to about in the 1600s. Right? Go ahead.
Things which must shortly come to pass.
Go to verse 13. Straight to the point.
Verse 13, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
Right, the 7 candlesticks represent the 7 churches of Asia Minor. Go ahead.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Right, clothed with a garment down to the foot, as was custom of the Hebrew Israelites, as you see us have today. Right? We're reclaiming our culture. Go ahead.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
Because he was a warrior. Go ahead.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Right. His head and his hairs were white like wool. It was woolly in texture and it was fully white. So you need to go to your local church. The local church you've been going to, you need to question it. We're not out here to tell you what you want to hear. We out here to tell you what the Most High said, and if you're not with what the Most High said, then He gonna deal with you. And it's gonna be painful. You're not gonna just die, you're gonna die a painful death. Alright? You keep ignoring the Most High. The Most High ain't playing with you people. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you Israelites. Alright? You keep doing the wickedness that you in, and when His Son come back and crack that sky open, you in trouble. Alright? Go ahead.
As white as snow.
As white as snow. Go ahead.
And his eyes were like as a flame of fire.
And his eyes were like a flame of fire. Go to Genesis, the 49th chapter. His eyes, and tell you why his eyes was red. What was the Messiah's first miracle? They tell you that in John, the 2nd chapter. He turned water to wine, right? So ain't nothing wrong with a drink, but in moderation. Genesis 49.
12.
And 11.
It's 12.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 11. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes.
Verse 12.
Verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
His eyes shall be red with wine. In the Hebrew, yayan. So he drank wine. And that's why when we went to Revelation, it said that his eyes were as a flame of fire, also depicting anger. Because who you call Jesus Christ, Hamashiach Yahsharahla, is angry, man. He's not coming back some white man with Labrador Retriever hair and hugging everybody. And you've been wicked all your life. He's coming back to destroy. America's going to be destroyed, man. All of America, from the East Coast to the West Coast, is going to be destroyed by who you call Jesus Christ, Hamashiach Yahsharahla. All right? Go ahead, back in Revelation.
And his, Revelation chapter 1, verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
And his feet like unto fine brass. Brass is what color? Brown. So, this right here has already been eliminated to be a qualifying depiction of Hamashiach, the Messiah. Go ahead.
As if they burned in a furnace.
As if they burned in a furnace. So it wasn't just brown, right? It looked as if it was burned in a furnace, meaning very, very dark. So we just gave you the description of who you call Jesus Christ, that he's a so-called Negro with white and woolly hair, and his feet, ain't your feet the same color as the rest of your body? Right? His feet as if they brown as if they burn in a furnace, man. So he's very dark, but he wasn't an African. He was a so-called Negro, which that's how we can relate to you. All right? Because you so-called Negroes are the real Jews who came over here in slavery. All right? This is real, man. You can ignore it all you want to, but go to Daniel 10:5. Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 5.
And the reason why this is so important is because our people cling on to that image, man. That image was beaten into you. This image of a white Messiah, ain't no white Messiah coming to save you out your condition. Ain't no white Messiah coming for you, man. You know, there's a lot of blood because of that picture, man. Our people weren't taking that, man. But then you had some that did, and look now. Go ahead, bro.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
He's describing Masharah.
Verse 6. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire.
It's similar to the description given to us in Revelation, the 1st chapter, bro.
And his arms and his feet.
His arms and his feet. Right, this is for you that say color don't matter. It don't matter what color the Lord was, or who you call the Lord. Right? Go ahead.
His arms and his feet, like in color to polished brass.
Like in color to polished brass. So that's dark, man. That's very dark. So what you need to do when you figure that out, you need to go home and take that image out your house, man. Take it off your wall and burn it, man. Because you've been lied to, man. You've been lied to your whole life. Ask yourself, what's your nationality? Oh, I'm black. Look up the word black in the dictionary, man. Who called you black? The word black means evil, filthy, disgusting. You're not black, you know? And then look at who calling themselves white, pure, holy. When they're the most wicked race on the planet Earth, man. And the Most High is going to judge them for what he's done to you, man. And the Most High is going to get him, as we're going into, the Most High is going to get him for putting this image up as being who you call God and his son, man. You know? Go to Jeremiah 14:2. Read Hebrews 7:14, right? Brother, so. Because the Most High son came out of Judah. The Most High, who you call Jesus Christ, Yahsharahla, he came from a direct line. Through the act of sex, right? There wasn't no immaculate conception, that's a lie. Alright? But anyways, who you call Jesus Christ, Yahsharahla, he came through the loins of David, right? David has King David. King David has Solomon, and all the way down to the Messiah. Right? And they were all men of color, brothers. They were all brothers. They weren't looking like Charleston Heston, man. And the Backstreet Boys. You know? What's that? What I call for? Jeremiah 14:2, let me get Hebrews 7:14. Because the reason why I said he came from the loins of those men, because this scripture right here, Hebrews 7:14.
Look at Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. For it is evident that our Masharah sprang out of Judah.
So he sprang out of the loins of Judah. He's a descendant of Judah. You got 12 tribes from Judah to Issachar. He didn't come from Issachar. He didn't come from Simeon. He came from Judah. All right, that's important. Keep that in mind when we read this scripture in Jeremiah 14:2.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2.
Judah mourneth, right? Judah, you so-called Negroes. It says Judah mourneth. Look at the condition you in. The word mourn means to lament, man. You in a sad case, man. You approaching Black Lives Matter. Man, they don't care about that, man. They don't care about you marching. When are you going to stop marching and do something, man? And the only thing you can do is come back to the Most High. Because you can't come against this government carnally, man. You can't do it, man. The Black Panthers tried that. Look where they at. You gotta come back to the Most High. Or if not, He's just going to put you to death. That's what the Most High said. Not me, it's all in the Bible. You got one at home. Go ahead. Deuteronomy.
And the gangster of language.
The gangster of language. That's talking about your political leaders. Al Sharpton. Jesse Jackson, right? Creepshow Dollar. Or Creflo Dollar Bill. All these, they failed you, man. They're using you for your money, that's one thing. But Judah Mordeth and the gangster of language, meaning they're not really supporting you and telling you the truth. Right? Go ahead.
They are black unto the ground.
They are black unto the ground. Now remember in Hebrews the 7th chapter, the 14th verse, for it is evident that Hamashiach sprang out of Judah, and Judah is black unto the ground. And when you go into that scripture in the Hebrew, because the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, Jeremiah 14:2, the word for black is put-dog, which means dark skin. So how you get a white Jesus out of that, man? And then when we tell you this, you say, oh, it don't matter if he was green. It don't matter. But when you was voting for Obama though, why? What was the significance of Obama? Which hits ain't did nothing for you? Look up what he signed on what was that? 2010 or 2011 or 12, one of those years. He signed the NDAA Act, man. The National Defense Authorization Act, which labels all of you terrorists, man. You know they got concentration camps ready for you? Right. Concentration camps, guillotines. Your government is planning on killing you, man. Think it's a joke? You out partying, right? You out partying, enjoying America. The Most High is about to stop all that, man. The plagues of Egypt is coming back, man. Go ahead.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
And the cry of Jerusalem, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans has gone up, man. You know? So we just proved that, without the shadow of a doubt, that the so-called Negro in America is the Jew, the real Jew, and that who you call Jesus Christ from Mashiach Yahsharahla, he is a man of color. Now, his people, the so-called Deuteronomy 28:68. Now we're going to deal with the Judites, right? Along with the other tribes, but specifically in this verse, it's talking about slave ships, and we're going to prove that you came over here on slave ships. You came to America, you came to the shores of America on slave ships, man. By the hand of the so-called white man, your enemy, Esau, according to the Bible, the biblical Edomites, right? So Deuteronomy 28:68, all right?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
The Most High said that I will bring thee again into Egypt, again by ships. So we got to analyze this, man. What does the word Egypt mean? Get that in Exodus
20:2.
23:2?
20:2.
20:2. Exodus 22. The what? We're going to define Egypt. Egypt from the Greek Egyptos, which means bondage, but we're going to prove it with scripture. Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Most High thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So that's the definition of bondage. The definition of Egypt is bondage. Now, America spiritually is Egypt. Just like America is spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah, man. But we're dealing with Egypt right now. Hardcore slavery, right? The real Jews and Israelites being oppressed by the hands of your oppressors, the so-called white men, right? Because they beat you. They packed you like sardines, right? They chiseled your teeth and make you eat swine. They separated you from your children. They threw you off the boat and fed you to the sharks that was following the cargo slave ships. You should be mad about that, man. But you want to love everybody. If he don't love you, he don't love you. And the Most High don't love him. The Most High hate what he did to you, man. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But back to Deuteronomy 28:68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Well, this is a future prophecy. through Moses. He said the Most High will bring you into Egypt again. They just came from Egypt in the book of Deuteronomy. That's why you got to study, right? It's your book. It's your history. You did come. They tell you in school all you are is a slave from Africa. That's it. That's the end of all. You know what I mean? That's a lie, man. He was King Solomon. He was King David. You know, he was Isaiah the prophet. He was Ezekiel. You know, he was the 12 disciples. You know, and that's important to know, man. Your identity. Go ahead.
By the way, whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
So, this is talking about when we were brought over on cargo slave ships and sold on oxen blocks, right? That's what it's talking about. This is biblical prophecy. For those of you who say the Bible ain't real, the white man wrote the blah, 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 right? You don't know what you're talking about.
And no man shall buy you.
Meaning redeemed, right? Go to Jeremiah 50 and 33. Because the Negroes was brought over here on slavery, but you also had the northern tribes, the Latin brothers that was being shipped throughout the four corners of the earth as well, man. You know? You Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans, you brothers, man. You out here shooting each other over, oh, I'm from this hood, I'm from this street. Man, you need to get right with the Most High, man.
Right.
The Most High don't care about your street. The Most High said, worship me, man. You're killing your brother over a color, man. Get him, man, the Most High is coming. And when the Most High comes, he ain't trying to hear no excuses. He gonna say it's too late, then death. That's what's gonna happen, man. You know? But Jeremiah 50 and 33 to those of you who don't believe that you're brothers, man, and that you weren't oppressed together.
Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 33. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah.
The children of Israel, which is acknowledged as the northern kingdom, right? The northern kingdom, the Latino tribes, right? The so-called Mexicans, the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans, the so on and so forth. Go ahead. And the so-called Negroes, the West Indians, and the Haitians, right? Which make up the House of Judah. So read that again.
Thus saith the Most High of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
You were oppressed together. You weren't like, you know, because, okay, put it this way. Because you look at each other like with the, Issachar look at Judah like, you know, with this hate, man, it's indescribable. Like so-called Mexicans look at the dark-skinned brother, the so-called Negro, with this type of hate, man, I can't really explain. But we were, and vice versa. And we in the same struggle, we in the same ghettos, man. We in the same ghettos, man. We in the same county building. You know what I mean? We're on food stamps. You know, Section 8, WIC, all these things. But we gotta come back to the Most High. That's all it's about, man. Keeping His commandments. That's what we are to teach you, man. But you don't want to keep His commandments. And there's a penalty for that. That don't go unvisited. All right? Obviously it don't. We hear it, right? We in a strange land, which us forefathers never know. Serving strange powers or strange idols, right? Go ahead.
The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
Hold on. Read that again. Go ahead.
The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go,
and they still ain't let you go, right? They had the Negroes in the cotton field, right? They used the little Judite boys as stepping stools to get into the bed, right? They used to use them. We used to have to watch them eat their dinner. We used to have to hold their napkins and forks. You know what I mean? While all we was given was crumbs, man. living in shacks while they raped our women, man. While we was picking cotton, our ancestors.